Welcome back to our channel where we love to share our journey of growing our own food, living a little bit more sustainably each day, and creating a life that's a little more connected to the land, all from our quarter-acre suburban homestead. Glenn and I have been married for 18 years, and together we're raising our two sons, showing them how to slow down in a fast-paced world. In today's video, we're excited to dive into the big plans we have for our homestead in 2025. We'll be talking about the new projects we're tackling, the gardening goals we're aiming for, and even some personal aspirations we're working toward this year. So if you're looking for some homesteading inspiration, or just curious about what's on the horizon for us, stick around. We can't wait to share our vision for the year ahead.
In this channel, we like to talk about health, home, and garden. And we decided to divide our goals into three different categories. We're going to start in the category of garden. We're going to tell you what we are going to be working on this year. Over the last few years, we've been so excited that we've been able to grow a year's supply of certain things in our garden. Obviously, we can't grow a year's supply of everything we eat in our garden because that is just way too much. But we have been able to do that with garlic. Last year, we still have a ton of garlic from last year's harvest. We've also done that with chamomile, kale, basil, and even tomato. We were able to grow all the tomato that we eat fresh, and we were also able to preserve several jars of tomato sauce. But this year, we are challenging ourselves to grow a year's worth supply of onions. Now, this is a big challenge. Because when I told Glenn this is what I was thinking, he was getting a little nervous because
Yeah, I was.
we do eat a lot of onions. And after doing some math, I realized that we need around 600 onions to cover our onion need for the year. And last year, just to give you an idea, last year we grew a lot of onions, but it wasn't nearly enough. We grew around 250 onions. So we have to almost triple the amount of last year. It's going to be a challenge, especially because this year we are not expanding our garden. We have the same amount of rows, beds, everything. So I am going to have to get really creative with the timing of things and where we're going to place them, and also experiment a lot with companion planting. So find little crooks and crannies everywhere where I can continue to grow onions.
The other goal we have for this year is we're going to trellis our berry plants. Last year we planted them and they started to grow and we were really excited. We put kind of like an arch-like structure to kind of help some other plants like our green beans and stuff like that grow. But they grew a lot more than what we were expecting, especially our raspberries. They grew a lot. And so this year, part of our goal is to come up with a structure that will be able to support them. We don't want them to snap off at the bottom, but we want them to continue growing healthy and be able to bear a good amount this year. And we were quite surprised about the amount we even got last year on our first year having our berry patch. So in order to grow that area a little bit more, we want to create some kind of structure to be able to support all that. And we kind of don't know what we're doing. We're gonna have to do some research. So if you have any suggestions or comments, please, for me, just write them down below. That'd be helpful for me. But I'm gonna be looking at how to kind of best support them and help them grow this year.
Yeah, and that's going to be more like your thing.
Yeah.
So he's gonna be doing
We'll be in charge of that.
researching and the planning for that project.
Yeah.
The next goal we have is that we want to grow broccoli and cauliflower. Now, if you've been following us for some time, you know how pathetic our cauliflower was this past year. And honestly, we've been gardening for several years now, even before we moved to this property. And every time we tried broccoli, it never worked out. So this is kind of a big risk for us because we are going to take up a lot of space in our garden growing that, because broccoli and cauliflower is something that we eat a lot. And it just makes sense. That's one thing that we're trying to do this year, like to grow more of the things that we actually eat a lot of. So again, we are probably going to have issues with space because, like I said, we're not expanding our garden. And also we need to get creative about covering our crops, because that's one thing that we have issues with every year. Like all our brassicas get attacked by cabbage worms. So we definitely need to have some kind of covering for those.
And I think we really need to make sure that the sides come down. I don't know if you've seen some of our videos in the last time, but kind of pop up and sometimes they get inside. So we really want to do a good job of making sure that we figure out a better way of covering those plants really well.
Yes, so it's going to be a huge learning curve for us, and I'm hoping that this is the year that we are actually successful with broccoli, even though it hasn't been the case in the past. I guess just to give myself hope, I remember that in 2023 we tried to grow peppers, and our harvest was pretty pathetic as well. But then the next year we went all in with peppers and we did great. So I think we have a good shot at this. Our next goal is that we want to grow a lot more cabbage than we did in the past. And we do have a lot of success with cabbage, and I'm really excited about. And we do eat a lot of cabbage. We use a lot of it to make sauerkraut, but we also like it for fresh eating. So we definitely need to grow a lot more this year. And again, the challenge that we're going to have is space, but we are making some changes this year. Even though we're not expanding the garden, we are making some changes. There are certain crops that we are not going to be planting this year that took a lot of space last year, so that is freeing up some of our space, and we're going to focus on some of these crops that are essential for our diet. And the way I want to do this with cabbage is using the succession planting method. I've done that with carrots in the past and it works great, but this means that I'm going to have to stay on top of starting seedlings every 2 or 3 weeks for the next crop that is going to come up. So I need to really stay on top of that. So I'm hoping I'll be able to keep track of everything. I need to come up with a system that's going to help me keep track of everything, because we grow all our plants from seed. 2023 we did that 100% from seed. Last year we bought 3 tomato plants from the farmers market, and they were just fun varieties that we wanted to try in our garden, different types of cherry tomatoes, but everything else we grow from seed. So it is a lot of work to manage all the seedling trays that we have in our basement, and then in the spring we have to bring them up and take them outside so that they can get some sun and some fresh air. It is a lot of work, but I am excited that this year one of our goals is to grow more cabbage.
Another goal that we have this year is we would like to get 10 to 15 more chicks. We have realized we really need a lot more eggs. Our family consumes a good amount, and we're pretty confident. We had a good experience the last time we did our batch, and so we think that we can do it. We're confident in it, and we would like to share the journey with you as well. It's going to be a little bit of a challenge because this is a lot more than what we had last time, the little chicks, and trying to find out how to keep them warm and all that process, but we're going to share with you as we go about that journey together.
Yes, and that goal goes right into our next one, which obviously involves that because we're adding more chickens, we also need to add a new chicken coop. So we have been using the igloo chicken coop from Omelette, and we love it. There is a video coming up for you guys early on in the spring because we just want to show you what a good setup it is. And it is just perfect for those of us, especially who are living in urban and suburban areas. It has been amazing. And I am so excited that Omelette decided to make a bigger coop. And then this new one that we're going to get should be big enough for our 10 to 15 new chickens that we are going to get. So we are excited about that. And we are going to share with you the whole setup and just show you that whole process.
Yeah, and that requires that we're going to have to expand the chicken run and the area that they have to run about. And so we've kind of already done some initial measuring before the snow really started falling. But once everything starts clearing out, we're going to have to move some things around in the garden to accommodate our chicken and our larger flock. So that's going to be a challenge because we're also going to want to figure out how to protect them from above. As you've seen in some of our other videos, a hawk came and grabbed one of them. So we want to make sure that we're protecting them still. So we're also going to have to research on how to build this run so it could be a safe place for our chickens to roam.
And we want it to be a place that is accessible to us as well, that we can easily go in and rake up some of the compost or whatever we need to do in there. And again, this is going to be your department because I don't do a lot of that.
Yeah, and I'm fine with that. That's okay. This is my thing.
But we don't really have a lot of experience like building things, you know, so it's going to be a challenge.
It's going to be a challenge.
And a final goal for our garden that is mostly mine is that this year I want to grow a lot more flowers. Last year, I kind of dabbled with planting flowers just for fun, you know, not medicinal flowers because I've been doing that and I enjoy doing that, but just flowers for decorative purposes, flowers that I can cut and bring into the home and make beautiful arrangements. And that is something that I've been trying to do more, not just have our garden that is functional and that it feeds us, but also a beautiful place that just brings me a lot of joy. And the flowers that I had last year did just that. And I just want more of that. So I have lots of different varieties of flowers that I've ordered. And I'm excited to share those with you and also to show you the different beautiful areas in our garden with all those beautiful flowers. Those are the goals that we have for our garden. And now let's bring it back to our home because we have two specific goals that we want to share with you. Over the last several years, we have swapped a lot of household items that are toxic and bringing in some less toxic items or non-toxic and more natural items into our home, especially in the area of like cleaning products, soaps, even our mattresses and sheets, towels, those kind of things. But this year we want to challenge ourselves to just go a little bit more into that. And there are three things that have always been a challenge for me. And one of them is shampoo. We have tried different ways of washing our hair that would be more natural, less toxic, but it has always been difficult to find one that really works. But this year I wanted to make it my goal that I am going to find one that works for my hair. I think my hair is the most important one because the boys, just whatever they use, like their hair will adapt to it, but it's really just me. So I will probably be buying different kinds and trying them out and testing them out. And I would love to share that journey with you as well, because I am on the hunt for good, non-toxic shampoo that actually works for my hair. And the other one is dish soap detergent. I really dislike what we are using. And it pains me because we do so much at our home to do a lot of things that are natural and toxin-free. And then we wash our dishes with just the regular dish soap because it works. We have hard water, and when we've tried other dish soaps, it doesn't work, and it leaves everything like all our stuff just cloudy and it just doesn't feel clean. So I am going to make that my mission this year, and I think that just involves like trying lots of different kinds and until we can find the one. So if you know of different brands that you have tried that you really enjoy, please drop them in the comments, because we are really serious about that, making that switch this year. And the same thing with the shampoo. If you know of a non-toxic shampoo that you just absolutely love, please share it with me in the comments. If you want to drop a link, we will look into that. And the final thing that we want to focus on is clothing. And I know we can't completely do a swap of all our clothing, but we want to start small and start making some changes. And there are several companies that I really like that I have been researching over the years, and I think this year I just need to take the plunge and order them and try them out and see. And I am excited to share that journey along with you as well. Another goal that we have for our home, which goes along with the theme of keeping things natural and non-toxic, is that I want to learn to make some of these things instead of just buying them. over the years, we've learned how to make a lot of things: yogurt, fermented cream, sauerkraut, butter, tallow, so many things. Learn to preserve food, and Glenn is very much involved in that process as well, which I'm very thankful for because it's a lot. But this year I want to focus on learning to make beeswax candles. I love candles. We actually found out as a family, like, we love candles. We love having candlelight dinners. So I really want to dabble with candle making. It sounds like a really fun project, and I am excited about that. And also, as I think about our future, like, I still believe that one day we are going to have bees. And that's just another way of preparing ourselves for the future. I've mentioned before that I make tallow for our family, and the last 2 years I've been making tallow balm, which has been amazing, especially this time of the year. I just love it. I use it on my face all the time. It is gentle for my face. I use it on my hands. It is great. And this year I want to challenge myself to make magnesium lotion. I have been using magnesium lotion because it is just so good for me sometimes when I'm having pain in my legs. It's a really great way to absorb magnesium without taking supplements, because the magnesium supplements actually don't sit well with my digestive system. So being able to absorb that mineral through my skin is really helpful for me. But unfortunately, the magnesium lotions that are very clean and have great ingredients are also very pricey, and I can't afford, because I go through a bottle of magnesium lotion like in a month, or maybe even less, and I can't afford to buy that each month. So I actually want to experiment and try some recipes and make our own magnesium lotion, and see how that goes, and see if it's actually cost effective for us to do that. But those are the two projects that I'm going to be focusing on, and those are mostly for me, and I'll be working on those.
And our last category this year is our health. We want to both improve in different ways in our health. And for me personally, I want to really focus on strengthening. I've gone through a very long health journey where I've made some pretty drastic changes over the years and lost some weight. But now I don't want to just maintain. I would like to continue to build muscle and get healthier. So I just want to focus on strengthening my body this year.
In terms of our eating habits, I think we are doing a pretty good job. So there is nothing that we want to change there this year. But like Glenn, I also want to work on my physical body in terms of exercise. And I'm not trying to do anything crazy, but I do want to make sure I go out and walk every single day. I have been walking after my meals, after each meal, and it's been so good for me, and I actually enjoy it. And it's a time that I just have to myself. Obviously, right now when it's snowing, it's terribly cold, I don't go outside, but I do make sure I spend some time walking here at home for at least 20 minutes. And as we head into the spring and summer, I want to make sure I spend more time outside being active and doing those things. So when I talk about exercise, for me, it just means movement, walking, and incorporating stretches and other types of exercise that I've done. Nothing crazy. I've done that before, and it's not something that I'm interested in doing at this time in my life right now. And another aspect of my health that I want to work on is stress management. There are so many things that I have slowly been incorporating into my lifestyle, like mindfulness, mindful eating, being present, and so many other things that are helping my body be in a more parasympathetic system, or the rest and digest state. And that's where I want to be. And that means I need to do a better job managing stress. And for me, that's going to mean, in some situations, removing those stressors out of my life. But in other situations that those stressors can't be removed, I just need to find ways and learn how to find ways to cope better with that. So those are the main things that we are going to be focusing on. Obviously, we each have like personal goals that we're working on, and books we want to read, and things that we're doing, and goals that we have for our family and for our children. We have a whole thing planned out. But these are the ones that we wanted to share with you that pertain to our channel, because our channel is about home, health, and garden. And as a final goal, I'd like to share with you a goal that I have for my YouTube channel this year. Last year, I really enjoyed making harvest videos and garden videos because we were doing that so much last year. We spent a lot of time doing that. And we will again this year. But I also want to be intentional this year about posting more content related to health and related to our home. Like I mentioned, about maybe toxic-free living, and things related to health, whether it's food or mindful eating practices or different things that we do in our family as well. So I am excited to bring that content to you. And I know it's going to push me as well just to be more intentional in that area. So if this is the kind of content you enjoy, make sure you subscribe and grow along with us in this journey. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you in the next one.